Mr. Speaker, this is a budget of deceit. I repeat that. This is a budget of deceit. It scores high on the art of deceit. It sets out to deceive the people of Guyana.
We are going to create a caste system in this country whereby the inequality is going to be so vast to the extent whereby they are literally going to control this economy.
For every child that will receive a $40,000 Because We Care cash grant, they will be equally receiving Because We Do Not Care more than $500,000 debt burden.
Mr. Speaker, Budget 2024 is funneled and fixed between the Treasury and the pockets of friends, families, cronies, and flatterers of the People's Progressive Party to allow the oil money to flow into a small circle without a single drop of the oil money.
Mr. Speaker, Guyana's foreign policy, whilst always important, has assumed the place of paramountcy over the last year. One could not, however, tell this based on the delivery by my colleague across the floor yesterday, who spent 25 of his 30 minutes on everything else except foreign affairs.
There's someone in jail, and I'm concerned. Let us be fair. You promised in your campaign, in your extract of a campaign manifesto, you were going to amend that production sharing agreement because we don't know what's making deal. 3.5 years later, you have not changed a word. You have not changed a dot. You know why? Because the deal's sweet to fund all of your projects. Let us be fair.
Personal explanations. Requests for leave to move the adjournment of the National Assembly on definite matters of urgent public importance, business or sitting of the National Assembly, and moved by Minister. Introduction of bills, public business, government's business.
The House will now resolve itself into Committee of Supply to start consideration of the estimates. Honorable members, starting a few minutes late at 10:14, and I'm inviting the Honorable Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance, the Honorable Gail Teixeira, and the staff of the National Assembly to take their place so that we can start with the first head. This is supposed to start at 10 a.m. and we have 10 minutes to examine this particular agency. I invite you to turn to page 80 and 81. Agency 7, Parliament Office, current expenditure. It seems that I'm having a Mahipol moment. Sorry, I'm not having a Mahipol moment. I'm having a wrong book moment. So I was looking at 2022. Okay. So we haven't started as yet, Honorable Minister. So now I hope we are all on the same page. Agency 7, Parliament Office, Program 071. And I propose the question that the sums stated for this agency, Program 071, stands part of the estimates. Honorable Member, Mr. Mahipol.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, before I begin, let me join with you and welcome our friends from Queen's College. And I do recognize the head teacher of that school, who happens to be one of my former teachers at the Anne Regina Secondary School, Ms. Rajkumari Lal. Sir, in the sum of 2,156,835,000, which is an increase of from last year of 233,160,000, and given this $1.146 trillion budget, of which every line item has increased, may I ask the Honorable Minister to indicate what is the increase for the Office of the Leader of the Opposition, please?
Honorable Minister.
Good morning, members of the House. I would like to ask the Honourable Member to please point out the head he's referring to. He knows the rule.
Sir, this is a constitutional agency under 6041, a lump sum of $2,156,835,000 that is going to the Parliament Office. And from that office, a sum is allocated to the Office of the Leader of the Opposition. There is where the Office of the Leader of the Opposition receives his funding to scrutinize government's spending. So I'm asking if there's an increase from the sum that was there last year, and what is that amount?
Honourable Minister.
To refer to Appendix T, page 660, which has the breakdown of the different categories under the Parliament Office, as all the other constitutional bodies are in Appendix T on page 660. The reference to the Leader of the Opposition is catered for under the heading of other goods and services purchased, 6291 in the normal heads, and that the Leader of the Opposition increases have to do, sorry, it's not 6291, beg pardon. 6321, beg pardon. The subsidies and contributions to local organizations, and the Office of the Leader of the Opposition comes under that. The Leader of the Opposition has increased by an undercurrent because he has a capital budget which is separate. He has an increase of $3 million based on the, sorry, 1.1 million, which has to do with the increase of 6.5% for the salary increases for the Leader of the Opposition and the members of his staff. So in 2023, it was 28,211. It is now 32,564.
Honorable Member, Mr. Mahipal.
Thank you, sir. Sir, a big increase. One other question I have on this head, the Parliament Office, under wages and salaries. Can the Honorable Minister indicate whether the Parliament Office is still paying the salaries for the two parliamentary secretaries that the court ruled cannot sit in the National Assembly? Yes.
Honorable Minister.
Honorable member, you are well aware that the court ruled that they can't sit in Parliament. However, parliamentary secretaries are provided for in the Constitution and can be paid from the Parliament Office. And the court has so ruled. So, yes, sir, they are paid under statutory wages and salaries, as are the Prime Minister, Speaker of the National Assembly, Attorney General, senior ministers, junior ministers, opposition leader. So when I talked about the opposition leader, his salary comes out as statutory wages and not under the heading of local contributions. Members of Parliament, chief whips, parliamentary officers, secretaries, Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Clerk of the National Assembly, Deputy Clerk of the National Assembly. The total of those wages are 503.443 million.
Honorable members, I now put the question that the sum stated for Agency 07, Parliament Office, Program 071, National Assembly. I now put the question that this sum now stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, let us move to Audit Office of Guyana, and I invite you to turn to pages 84. Sorry, yes. We go back to Parliament Office, page 491, Capital Expenditure. And I propose a question that the sum stated for Agency 7, Program 071, National Assembly, Capital Expenditure stands part of the estimates. Honorable Member, Ms. Lawrence.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, could we have a disaggregation in terms of the amounts here? We have for furniture, equipment, and upgrading of facilities. Could we have it disaggregated?
Honorable Minister.
The 50,500,000 is broken up in the following way. Repaving the eastern parking lot of the public buildings, 4.5 million to improve access to the parking lot. Replacing the parliamentary library's wooden floors with concrete and tile, 25 million. Procurement of furniture and equipment for the Parliament Office, 16 million. And Constitutional Office of the Leader of Opposition, $5 million.
Honorable Member, Ms. Lawrence.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, could the honorable member indicate to this honorable house where in the Parliament building these floors will be changed and how much square feet we're talking about?
Honorable Minister.
I think I said the National Library, the Parliamentary Library. I don't know what the square footage is. Give me a minute. The engineers estimate, let me see if they have it there. Yeah, we haven't got the square footage, but I think all of us know the National Library, not National Library, Parliamentary Library at the Parliament Office. It's rather large, and the floors apparently are in bad condition. They're wooden, and therefore they're a hazard, and they want to replace it with concrete and tile, so it'll be safer and easier to keep clean. But if you insist on the square footage, I'll have to, Parliament Office will find out and we'll share that with you subsequently.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. Jones.
Thank you. Thank you, Comrade Chairman. Comrade Chairman, line item 2612, 200, furniture and equipment. Could the Honorable Minister indicate if any of these equipments include the audio system in the Parliament chamber of Brigade? Equipment.
Honorable Minister.
Chief Whip, a quick look at the list of items does not appear to have anything to do with the audio equipment of the Parliament chambers. Is that what you're referring to, Parliament chambers? Yes? Right. I'm advised by the clerk that, the deputy clerk, that the audio equipment is catered under what?
Maintenance.
Current, under the current maintenance of buildings, 62. Maintenance of equipment, under current. So the audio equipment is catered under that. We're just past that.
Thank you, Comrade Minister. Comrade Chair, just to confirm, so is this an indication that after this expenditure of the current to equip the Parliament equipment in the chamber to be completed in 2024?
I'm advised, sir, that yes, it will be done by the end of 2024.
And just a quick follow-up, for use by the National Assembly. And when you say 2024, could you indicate a specific month or which quarter?
After the budget passes. I'm advised that it would be after the budget passes in the second quarter.
Just to add, because I have some responsibility in the area, the chamber is used. The youth debates, meetings, so it's always being used. Honorable members, I now put a question that the sum stated for Agency 7, Program 071, National Assembly, capital expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The sum stated herein now stands part of the estimates. We now turn to pages 84 and 85. Agency 8, Audit Office of Guyana. And I propose the question that the sum stated for Agency 8, Program 081, Audit Office, stands part of the estimates. Honorable Member, Ms. Halley.
Good morning. I just have one question to the Honorable Minister. What mechanisms are put in place to ensure that there is no conflict of interest between the person holding the position of the Deputy Auditor General of the Audit Office and the Minister of Finance and by extension the government? Can you state what mechanisms are put in place to ensure that there is no conflict of interest there? We're on the Audit Office. It's a constitutional agency. It's one line item. If you want to be specific, wages and salaries.
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, this is rather a deviation from the norm. Under the estimates, we're looking at figures. This is a policy issue which maybe the honourable member is not aware of, as she is not in the Public Accounts Committee, but I'm sure her members in the Cider House brief them from time to time on the developments in the in the PAC. However, The Auditor General's office, if you go on their website, have their policy documents, including those that deal with their manuals and guidelines for their staff. They're quite voluminous documents. They have been there since Mrs. Lawrence could correct me, as she was in the PAC at the time, approximately around 2004, 2005, I believe, when the act was passed, and then a lot of work went into it. So the conflict of interest issue is clearly delineated in the policy of the Auditor General's office. And the honourable member may wish to refer to those policy documents, which were brought to the House by, I think, the then chairperson, who is Mrs. Lawrence. Again, Mrs. Lawrence, if I'm misquoting you, please apologize. But these were all documents brought to this House, laid and approved by this House. So maybe the honourable member may wish to refer to the Auditor General's website, where you'll find those manuals, etc.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable members, I now put a question that the sum stated for Agency 8, Program 081, Audit Office current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Please turn to page 492. And I propose a question that the sum stated for Agency 8, Program 081, capital expenditure stands part of the estimates. Honourable members, I now put the question that the sum stated for Agency 8, Program 081, capital expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The amount stated now stands part of the estimates. Let's thank the Honourable Minister and the Auditor General and the staff for taking us through his agency. Thank you very much. We now call on Agency 9, Public and Police Service Commissions. And invite the staff of these two commissions to join Minister Teixeira. And if we could turn to pages 88 and 89. And I propose the question that the sum stated for Agency 9, Program 091, Public and Police Service Commissions, current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Honourable Member, Ms. Halley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, as you go to page 663 in Appendix D, on the statutory benefits and allowances, the actual for 2021 was 0.27, and then it was budgeted in 2023 at 5.6, but only 1.1 was utilized, and now it's budgeted again at 5.6. Can the Honourable Minister state what exactly is causing the fact that they're budgeting for such a high amount and such small amounts are being utilized at the end of the year, and they're still budgeting a high amount this year?
Honourable Minister.
Honourable Member, the statutory benefits and allowances, as you remember, the commissions were not appointed at that time, and therefore payments to the commissioners and whatever benefits were not there either. So the NIS payments, etc. So that the police service was appointed in May 2022, and the public service appointed in July 2023. So if I understand your question clearly, is that why was it such a low amount in not spent and the increase presently? You now have more staff, as I'm advised, that they have hired a number of persons. There are 8 new staff, etc., who, of course, would have to pay NIS, etc.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable members, I now put the question that the sum stated for Agency 9, Program 091, Public and Police Service Commissions, current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Let's turn to page 493. And I propose a question that the sum stated for Agency 091, capital expenditure, stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, I now put the question that the sum stated for Agency 9, Program 091, capital expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Honorable member, Mr. Patterson? No. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Thank you very much, Minister, and the staff of the Public and Police Service Commissions. We can turn to Agency 10, Teaching Service Commission, and they are on pages 92 and 93. And I propose a question that the sum stated for Agency 10, Program 101, Teaching Service Commission, current expenditure stands part of the estimates. I now put a question that the sum stated for Agency 10, Program 101, Teaching Service Commission, current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, let's turn to page 494. Same agency, Program 101, Teaching Service Commission, this time capital expenditure. And I propose a question that the sum stated herein now stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, I now put a question that the sum stated for Agency 10, Program 101, Teaching Service Commission, capital expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, thank the Minister and the staff of the Teaching Service Commission for taking us through the agency. Honorable members, please now turn to pages 96 and 97. Guyana Elections Commission. I invite the staff of the Guyana Elections Commission to join the Honorable Minister. Thank you. Honorable members, I now propose a question that the sum stated for Agency 11, Guyana Elections Commission, Program 111, current expenditure stands part of the estimates. The Honorable Member, Ms. Lawrence.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, could the Honorable Minister indicate to this House under which subhead of the current expenditures was there a decrease? I noticed that the revised figure for 2023 was $3.8 billion, and that budgeted for 2024 is some $3.4 billion.
Honorable Minister.
We remember that in 2023, we had a local government elections. There are no local government elections slated for this year. And therefore, that is the reason for the decrease in the allocation for the year 2024. Obviously, 2025 would be a different story.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable Member, Ms. Lawrence.
Just follow up. Could the minister give me a breakdown in terms of which head? Is it administrative? Is it overhead, other expenses, maintenance? Where did we see this reduction?
MP Lawrence, I'm advised that, and I'm looking at the data before me, that there's not one specific item that is responsible for the increase, except one item which the GCOM had proposed in 2023 in their budget to introduce a pension scheme for GCOM. However, that was removed from the 2024 budget estimates. And therefore, that was approximately 314 million that would have been reduced from the 2024 budget. The rest were smaller amounts across a lot of the heads and subheads. But this would have been the largest, I think, amount. Yeah.
Honorable Member, Ms. Lawrence.
Mr. Chair, would be thankful for that information to be laid over.
Thank you. Minister, the breakdown to be laid over.
You mean across all the heads and subheads or only in relation to pensions?
Honorable Member, Ms. Lawrence, clarification.
Mr. Chair, I'm trying to follow the minister. So if $300 million were taken out for pension, that is a decrease in terms of the requests budgeted for 2023 because it was $5.067 billion. So if we go down to $3.4 billion, we're talking about a substantive increase. So for the subheads, I'm not asking for line items. I'm asking for subhead, like wages and salaries, materials, equipment, and supplies, because she did indicate that the decrease was due also to the local government elections.
Honorable Minister.
Yeah, I'm advised that the allocation for 2023, that because in the previous year they had purchased a lot of the items or a number of the items for the election, they did not use all the monies allocated for the local government elections in 2023. The reference I made to pensions is not the regular NIS pensions and benefits. This is where the GCOM had proposed in the budget in 2023, 314 million for a pension scheme specific to GCOM. However, I'm advised that GCOM itself has not agreed to proceed on that issue at this time, and therefore it was removed from the budget. There are small decreases in other areas. For example, print and non-print, 197 million difference, because the materials due to there being no election this year, the materials of ballot sheets and all that kind of stuff would not be there. I can ask GCOM to assist me in providing the heads where there have been reductions so that you can see what they are and the reasons for the reduction in the 2024 budget.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable Member, Ms. Hannon.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, when you go to Appendix D on page 665, there is a significant increase at the materials, equipment, and supplies. Can the honorable member state what is being procured under this particular line item, $210 million?
Honorable Minister.
I had, just a sec. This heading under, in Appendix T, refers to a number of subheads, such as the drugs and medical supplies, field materials and supplies, office materials and supplies, and print and non-print materials. I had just referred in answering to Mrs. Lawrence, 6.9 million was not included in this budget, so that the budget in 2023 was 233.2 million. What was used, what is now in 2024 is 35.497 million, based on the fact that GCOM says at this point in this year, they do not need to print the volume of materials, print and non-print materials, as there's no election this year. So if we go the line, I see Ms. Tabitha looking a little bit concerned. If we look at the line, the 2022 was 216 million. In 2023, 446 million was allocated, but they only used 85 million. And now they've gone back up to 210. So there has been an increase in terms of what they used, but in terms of what was allocated in 2023, it is a decline. And as I said, that heading covers several areas, as I repeated: drugs, materials, supplies, field materials, office material and supplies, and print and non-print. So they use less than what was allocated, and they're getting back about 50% what was allocated for last year, to allow them to do whatever preparations they need to, but they feel that they do not need that volume of money in 2024 as there are no elections.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. Figueroa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Honorable Minister state under 6-41, if there's an allocation here to cater for rental of buildings, specifically with respect to Region 10, and more so Wisma, where there was an operational office of GCOM and it's no longer operational, and most of the staff are at Mackenzie. So with this line item, cater for the rental of an office at Wisma to cater for the staff and more so the constituency on the Wisma shore.
Honorable Minister, and the ministers to come. You may sit to answer because your microphone is challenged. I'm hearing you quite well. So, Minister, you can just pull the microphone down and we'll be able to hear you.
The building was the rental for buildings was increased by over $4 million. So, and there is a need. That's why I'm asking the question.
I'm advised that GCOM recognizes the need and that they are looking for a land, a place so they can build office at Wisma. So it's not included in the rental buildings for this year. They're hoping to get the land and build an office there.
So am I to conclude in the interim, the staff will remain at Mackenzie?
Yes, sir.
The government can provide them with the land. There's no need for them to look.
Like, I'm sorry, Mr. Speaker, I didn't hear that last comment. It wasn't meant for me to hear, so why did you say it?
No, what I'm saying, the government can assist GCOM with regards to finding a plot of land.
Thank
There
you.
is a search, so.
They are in the process, I'm advised. You know that you just
Thank you.
don't go and put stakes on land. That's squatting. But they are going through the legal process to acquire land in Wisma for the purposes of building an office. I'm sure you wouldn't want GCOM to go squat.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable Member, Ms. Lawrence.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. If I turn the Honorable Minister's attention to 665, we're told that last year the Commission catered for the local government elections. And so we see salaries, wages and salaries, at $1.6 million. In a year of 2024 where there is no elections, why do we see the increase to 1.799, almost $1.8 million?
Honorable Minister.
I'm advised that the increase to the 6.5% increase in salaries and also the gratuity that's paid biannually to the staff. So some people's 6 months would cross over into 2024 from 2023. So although the staff maintenance of those who are permanent staff remain, as you know, the temporary staff is paid separately and not under this.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable Member, Ms. Lawrence.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, could I take the minister to rental and maintenance of buildings? No elections in 2024. Why are we seeing an increase instead of a decrease?
Honorable Minister.
Under the heading rental and maintenance of buildings in Appendix T, it covers rental of buildings, maintenance of buildings, and janitorial and cleaning supplies. So that under rental of buildings, there is a decrease as no additional buildings will be required in 2024 since it's not an election year. And this is to do with the election purposes. Maintenance of buildings have increased slightly. And this is to do with the maintenance of the GCOM owned buildings as well as rented ones. So there is there has been, according to the data in the Parliament records, that there has been a slight increase.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable Member, Ms. Halley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Final question. I was wondering on the other goods and services purchased are where we were before in terms of materials, equipment, and supplies, whether or not GCOM intends to buy any biometric equipment this year.
Minister.
Yeah. Mr. Speaker, this is a decision for the GCOM Commission. I assume if they decide to do that, then it will be included in the budget. And whether, if it's urgent, it would have to be included in a supplementary budget. It is not here. No, because the GCOM Commission, which makes the policy decision, has not, as far as I'm aware, decided on that issue, right?
Honorable Member, Ms. Lawrence.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I take the minister to rates and taxes and subventions to local authority. Last year, $2.2 million was budgeted, and only $92,000 was used to pay to the pay rates and taxes and local subvention. Again, we're budgeting $2.2 million. And the question is, why aren't we paying the local subventions and the local authorities? And could you say which local authority is owed by GCOM and for how many years?
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mrs. Lawrence. This would be rates and taxes on buildings owned, I believe, by the GCOM, not by buildings that they're renting. As I assume the landlords would pay the rates and taxes. They will provide me with a breakdown of which NDCs or municipalities receive this money or will receive the money in 2024 and which ones receive the $92,000 in 2023.
Follow-up, sir.
Honorable members, Lawrence.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, to the Honorable Minister, could you kindly seek to ascertain from GCOM personnel what is inhibiting them from paying on a yearly basis the amounts owed to these local authorities? We are giving the monies. Why aren't you paying these local authorities so they can do their jobs?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker and Madam Lawrence, it is clear that the staff of GCOM did not follow through on this issue and that they will have to show better in 2024 that they're able to address this issue. So we don't disagree with you. We just believe that I guess the staff dropped the ball on this issue and they should not, and it should be corrected.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable members, I now put a question that the sum stated for Agency 11, Program 111 Elections Commission, current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, page 495.
Mr. Speaker,
Lead the opposition.
could the Honorable Minister tell us Agency 11, 1111 Elections Commission 400,500 constitutional agencies. It has 100 million for provisions for building, furniture, and equipment. Could the Minister tell us where the buildings, what equipment they will be purchasing, and give us a disaggregation of the three areas?
Honorable member, honorable minister.
Thank you very much, Honorable Leader Opposition. The 100 million is disaggregated in the following way. Concrete tarmac, 90 by 120 feet. This is the tarmac at Nouvelle Flanders Registration Office. Concrete bridge and gate, eastern perimeter of the compound. This is again at Nouvelle Flanders Registration Office, 850,000. Off-road vehicles, we're looking at 6 at a total of 66 million to traverse the interior locations in conducting registration, field verification for new registrants and reduce operational costs. ATV bikes, 2.5 million to conduct field operations in the interior locations and reduce operational costs. Electrical backup system, 1.5 million. There are 3 that they want to buy to provide adequate supply to the GCOM offices. PA system to buy 2, totaling 300,000. These are to be purchased for civic and voter civic and voter for the execution of duties and function of the commission. UPS 24 at 480,000. The items to be purchased for various offices to protect the equipment. Heavy duty UPS for Xerox machine, 350,000 to be purchased for civic and voter program for the execution of duties and functions of the commission. PC case mid-tower 104,000 to be purchased for the IT department and improve the operational performance. Vertical filing cabinets, 24 at 1.5,660,000 to purchase cabinets for storage. Lateral filing cabinets of 13 at 1.69 million. And this again is for the orderly storage of documents by GCOM and their offices. 2-door filing cabinet, 3 at 360,000 to purchase again for the same purpose. Pedestal fans, 34, 170,000 to be used in GCOM offices to provide a cooler environment. AC unit 1200 BTU, 7 at 770,000, and this is to be used at GCOM offices to have better working conditions. AC unit 1800 BTU 1, that's 195,000 to be purchased for charity registration office. AC 24,000 BTU 3, 660,000 equipment to be purchased for GCOM offices in providing better working conditions. AC unit 36,000 BTU 3 to be purchased 1.6 million. This again is for the GCOM offices. Server to purchase 1 at 700,000 for the IT department to improve its operational performance. Stabilizer 5,000 watts, 2 at 50,000 items to be purchased for both the North sub-office, to be purchased for the North sub-office in Georgetown, I believe. That's Georgetown? Yeah. Transformer 1, 500,000 be purchased for Marconi registration office. Heavy duty guillotine 3 to be purchased for the various departments of GCOM. Heavy duty laser printer, black and white 1, 150,000 for the HR department to facilitate the printing of letters and reports, etc. Heavy duty laminating machine 1, again for the HR, human resource department for the execution of duties. Binding machines 3, 150,000 items to be purchased for the various departments in GCOM. Water dispensers 6 to ensure staff from various offices have adequate water supply. Heavy duty laser printer color 1, 400,000 to be purchased for the public relations department of GCOM. Desktop printers 5, 200,000 to purchase for the various departments of GCOM. Desktop computers 5 at 1.2 million items to be purchased again for the various offices and to replace damaged and old computers. Laptops 25, totaling 6.5 million to be purchased for the various offices, the replacement of old and damaged computers. Refrigerators 480,000 again for the district offices of GCOM. Stove 1, 20,000 for Paramakatoy registration office for providing to assist the staff there. Microwaves 3 to purchase for the district offices. Water tanks 51,000. 3 water tanks totaling 135,000 for the various offices. Water pump 3 at $75,000 to be purchased for the various registration offices to ensure adequate supply of water. Brush cutter, weeding machines 2 at $400,000, items to be purchased for various offices to maintain the environment surrounding the office. Office desk 20, items to be purchased for the admin department for the replacement of old and damaged furniture. L-shaped executive desk 1, 300,000 to be purchased for the deputy chief elections officer. Semi-executive desk 5, totaling 650,000 to be purchased for the various offices for the replacement of old and damaged furniture. Ergonomic office chairs 6, totaling 720,000 to be purchased for the various offices of the GCOM. Executive chairs 5, 300,000 to be purchased for the various offices. Semi-executive chairs 365 for the various offices and replacement of old and damaged furniture. Typist chairs 15, totaling 525,000 to be purchased for various offices for the replacement of old and damaged furniture. Office chairs 20, totaling $500,000 to be purchased for again old and damaged furniture. Chairs without arms 55 to be purchased for the various departments. 3-seat lounge chair 150,000 be purchased for the deputy chief elections officer to replace old and damaged furniture. Folding chairs 50, totaling 325,000 to be purchased for the admin department for the conduct of meetings and aid in in-house training. Folding tables 10, 150,000 be purchased for the admin department for the conduct of meetings and aid in in-house training. Bookshelf 81, one bookshelf 80,000 for the Myconi Registration Office. So in terms of the summary workshop, tarmac, fence, boat, shed, fence is 4.3 million. Vehicles, boat and engines, 68.5 million. Equipment, 21.2 million. Furniture, 5.8 million, totaling $100 million.
Mr. Speaker, the Honorable
Leader of the Opposition.
The honorable member just told this House that they were looking for land to build a building in Linden. And when I asked about buildings, the honorable minister mentioned all except that. Could the honorable minister tell us what is the truth? Is it that you're going to build this building and it's budgeted for, or it isn't?
Minister.
I think I spoke earlier on this, and I said that in response to Ms. Figueroa, the matter was in progress, and that we first had to acquire the land. And that having got the land, then I'm sure the GCOM would approach the government for supplementary, if required in 2024, to build the office. So they did not put the building of an office in Wismar because they have not been able to identify the land as yet. So it not being in 2024 doesn't mean that were they to find the land, etc., that they could not approach for supplementary. But it's not included in the 2024 budget because they do not have the land allocated as yet.
Thank you, Minister. Honourable members, I now put a question that is some state.
Mr. Chair.
Honourable member,
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Jordan.
I heard the Honourable Minister made mention of a number of executive, semi-executive chairs and desks that has to be purchased for the local offices. Could the Honourable Minister state whether the Fort Wellington Myconi district office will be receiving those and how much?
Honourable Minister.
I'm advised that although in the what I read, it did not have a specific for Myconi except their bookshelf. But I'm advised by GCOM that the chairs and other furniture will be shared with the various GCOM offices, as all of them are requesting replacement of old and damaged furniture. So when they do the tenders and they procure, they will then have to deal with the allocation. And I'm sure that the offices that are in bad condition, need furniture, will get.
Thank you very much, Minister. Mr. Jordan.
Mr. Chair, I just want to clarify and have a commitment from the Honourable Minister. From my last visit at the Fort Wellington and Myconi local offices, I recognized that the staff hadn't any comfortable sitting chairs. So I would like to know whether they will receive chairs this year or not.
Honourable Minister.
I am assured by GCOM that they will be taken care of and they will get allocation of chairs to be able to work under a better, more comfortable environment, sir.
Thank you, Minister. Honourable members, I now put a question that the sum stated for Agency 11, Program 111, Elections Commission, capital expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it, the sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Thank you, Minister, and the staff, the Chief Elections Officers, Deputy, and staff at the Ghana Elections Commission. We now invite the staff of the Supreme Court to join Minister to take us through day ahead. Well, Minister, we're going to set up a next station on the right-hand side. So maybe after the first hour, we can change so that they can sanitize here. We're still having a bit of challenges.
But Mr. Speaker, I have to keep changing. I have a whole set of suitcase of documents. I can't be moving between two stations.
Okay.
So if you would forgive
Your
me.
call.
If
Your
you
call,
would forgive
Honourable
me.
Minister.
I'm sorry to
Your
take the
call.
the
Your-
advertising problem, but
Your
it's too many
call.
documents. Thank you.
Your call. Honorable members, we turn to pages 288 and 289. Agency 55, Supreme Court. Program 551. Supreme Court of Judicature, current expenditure. And I propose the question that the sum stated herein stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, I now put a question that the sum stated for Agency 55, Supreme Court, Program 551, current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Page 521. And I propose a question that the sum stated for Agency 55, Program 551, Supreme Court of Judicature, capital expenditure stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, I now put some statement of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Thank you, staff of the Supreme Court and Minister. Honorable members, we can turn to pages 292 and 293. And invite the staff of the public prosecutions, the DPP office to join us. Honorable members, I now propose a question that the sum stated for Agency 56, public prosecutions, current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, I now put a question that the sum stated for Agency 56, public prosecutions, Program 561, current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The sum stated now stands part of the estimates. I invite you, honorable members, to turn to page 523. I propose the question stated for 56, H1, capital expenditure estimates. I now put a question, honorable members, that the sum stated for program